I was 3 years old, my dad took me to the most amazing place in the world. East Texas Dragway in Porter, Texas. Porter on Sundays was an experience all in itself. And I love my hometown track, Houston Motorsports Park, but nothing was like Porter on Sundays. And one of the coolest things was leaving the track and everybody pulling into the store, hanging out, talking smack to each other. And every now and then, they leave the track and they'll go do some street racing. And it was from that moment on, watching them street race on Airport, that I knew I wanted to have me a race car. Now growing up, at my house, my dad and my uncle kept me around a bunch of hot rods. My uncle in particular had a C10, a custom C10 pickup truck with a 400 small block in it. He had a 70 Nova, and he was one of the first brothers around here to even be spraying nitrous. My dad and uncle, they had a burgundy 69 Camaro. My uncle had Corvettes. He had two Monte Carlo SS's, which is white Monte Carlo SS. That was the first car I ever made a pass in on the street. But the one car that had the biggest influence on me was my dad's 69 Camaro SS. Clean street car, small block with nitrous. In that car, I learned to turn wrenches on, and it turned me into a small block guy. So growing up, my dream was to have me a fast street car with a nitrous small block in it. Now, years and years went by and the opportunity came. And a buddy of my dad's, he came by in this white Malibu. Now, ironically, me and my dad were going to purchase another car that had my dad's original small block in it. But Gary showed up in this white Malibu. From that point on, my life changed. The Malibu came with a big block, and I just was not too particular about running a big block. So I bought me a dark lithium block, a Brodex 18-degree top-end package, and the Ford's rotating. Now, I didn't have the money to really put all of it together, so the car sat for about 10 years. Now, in the midst of that 10 years, my uncle started messing with LS. He bought him a C5 Corvette, put a little cam in it, converter. He was running 1150s driving the car on the street. Now, a buddy of his had another C5 that he was swapping a 6.2 in. I just remember my uncle telling me about that 6.2 and how fast it was. So when I got ready to start putting that Malibu together, my uncle told me to sell all that small block shit I had and buy me a 6.2 and a 4L8. And that was the beginning of the process that led me to where I am now. Now, nobody can really prepare you for building your own car. You just have to go through that experience. And I had a lot of help and a lot of friends who put sweat equity into me putting this car together. After going from shop to shop, I just remember telling my dad, I need to learn how to do some of these things myself, because I wanted to be able to load my car up and go to the track whenever I felt like it. And not knowing what that really meant sent me on a journey that I would say is very invaluable, because I learned everything I needed to. I literally learned how to build my own car. And that led to me learning how to rewire the car, switching computer systems. Painting the car. I mean, there were so many things that I learned in the process of putting this car together, but I finally got the car going. And I was finally able to have my street car with nitrous. I mean, going through that process really allowed me to be self-sufficient with that car. And I finally got the car to a point where I was beginning to enjoy it and have a good time with it. taking it to car shows, driving to where I want to go. That was what I had. I had my fast street car, I had nitrous on it, and even getting to the point where I got to my personal best in the car. Now, in an instant, all of that went away. Now, you would think that going through the process of building this car and getting to a point where you were happy with it, that you would be upset and disappointed and distraught over losing it and totaling the whole car out. But I remember my homeboy telling me like, man, I know you're down, I know you feel bad about what happened, but I really didn't. For some reason, I felt relieved and I didn't have any emotional feeling about that car being wrecked. And about 24 hours later, another buddy of mine called me and said, hey man, I don't know if you're ready, but I know where another G-Body at. And he showed me pictures and videos of this car. And I immediately wanted to see it. I called my dad, I said, hey, I need to show you this car. Called my homeboy, I said, hey man, I need to see it. I went to see that car, and immediately when I looked at it, I said, this is mine. This is my car. I didn't know how I was gonna get it, but I knew some type of way this was mine. And about a week or so later, I had that car. So what I did not get to do with putting my green Malibu together was chronicle the entire journey. But I'm gonna chronicle this one with this blue car, and you'll get to see me impart all the wisdom and knowledge that I took from that green one and put into this blue. So come check me out. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, I'll be doing the 6.2 swap on my 96 Impala. So lock in with me and stay tuned for the next episode.